Morning, guys. Happy Saturday. Woo! The weekend. Finally made it. Ice cap. I was trying to think about what I wanted to talk about. And I probably won't post much this during the weekend. But I did want to talk about something. I guess I had a download. I've been going on and talking about, psychic ability and certain things about that topic. And I actually want to teach some specific, some lessons here to help. Something that helped me. I'm going to go into what I would say was probably my, third or fourth step on my path into discovery. It was a book that I had came across. I got to it by reading a book before it, which referred to it. Okay, remember these things. And I'll leave the name and the author in the description. That way, if you want to look it up, you can. This book's written by a Golden Dawn adept. Her name was Dion Fortune. And the book I'm talking about is called Psychic Defense. So I want to teach you some psychic defense. When you read these books, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, forewarning, that they're not really that interesting. In fact, a lot of times they're pretty boring. Sometimes they're not easy to read. It's not like reading Harry Potter. They'll go on and on about, different facts. I mean, it's kind of like, I guess, if you ever read any Tolkien, like how he just goes on describing like what a leaf looks like or something, on. And they'll be like that. But I was so determined when I read these books to find answers that I read through, and I read every word, even if it was boring. It took discipline. Okay? You're also going to find out that there's not like steps in these books. It's not going to be like step 1, do this, step 2, do that. There you go, you've mastered the concept. The steps are going to be hidden within the context. Okay? So you'll have to actively read, actively listen. I worked in sales, and this was a thing that they taught us working in sales, how to actively listen when people talk to you. Well, you're going to have to actively listen and read when you dive into these books, and the literature. All right, anyway. So we're going to talk about psychic defense, but first maybe let's go into attacks. What are psychic attacks? What should you be looking out for to defend yourself against? Well, one thing that I'll list that is a common spiritual psychic attack is through your dreams. Have you ever noticed sometimes you wake up at 2, 3, 4 in the morning consistently, usually after like a vivid dream, and you're tired, right? And then when you go back to sleep and wake up the next day, or well, I guess later on that same morning, you're more groggy, you're more fatigued than you were. You could have been under some psychic attack. Dark practitioners will astral travel to you in your dream. When we dream, our body, our astral body, is in the astral plane, and it is susceptible to attack. You can be intercepted, I guess would be another a way to say it. So just keep that in mind, okay? One thing to understand, though, you cannot be physically harmed by these spiritual attacks. Okay? They can't, kill you through the dream. No matter how scary the dream is, They can't get you. Knowing that is a good part of the battle. Actually, knowing is a big part of the battle. We wrestle with things in our mind. Okay. You'll learn that you have to manage your thoughts and your thought process when overcoming these attacks. A lot of these attacks are designed to throw you off your mental process, your mental game. And I think of an example, and you can create the world with your mind, okay? The Bible says that God spoke the word, right? And the word made light. But is not the word a result of the thought? Okay? We have to master our mind. Right? All right. And as you develop these things, you'll learn to get to a place where you can spot these dreams in the middle of your dream. Call it lucid dreaming. And you realize I'm in a dream and you can control the dream. It's pretty fun sometimes. You can get to a point where that happens. Okay. What's another one? 2. Gifts. Gifting. Dark practitioners love to give gifts. But it'll be veiled with a bad intention. The gift itself may be harmless, but the intention behind it could be malicious. Okay? And we're coming to the holiday season. So keep that in mind. As people want to give you gifts. Have you ever noticed maybe somebody always gives you a gift even though you didn't even ask? You didn't ask for it? My dark practitioners that targeted me did that all the time. They would always bring a gift. Clothes. They like clothes. Anything that's going to touch your skin, they love to give things like that. Sometimes they'll do it with books too. Different items have different levels of what they call magnetism, right? And they can bind bad intentions, negative spirits to certain items. Metal items carry more magnetism than other items, like clothes. Now, these energies don't last on these items forever, right? But if you are unaware and you accept the gift, you accept the offering and put it on, you have put on that negative energy on you, okay? And that gives to my third one, acceptance. You have to accept a lot of these energies, these negative attacks that come to you. A big part of it is you accepting the gift, okay? The attack. So you don't have to accept it. I'll give an example. A family member came over unexpectedly, right? I told them not to come over, but they came over anyway against my wishes. And what do you know? They had a gift, right? Straight in the trash. Okay? We had a family friend give a gift, didn't ask for it, right? Family friend, straight in the trash. Okay? You have to learn to do these things, to see these things. Now, I'm not saying that every single person that comes to you is attacking you. That's where your intuition and your discrimination, I keep saying that word, and I don't mean it by the way that we've been taught by saying it. You have to learn to be able to cipher, to tell the difference between good intention and bad intention. Okay. It's actually a pretty fun lesson. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? If you read that book, she'll go into some specific hand gestures and things like that that you can do. You know, do they work? It's my belief that it's the intention, it's the mind, right? That really is what creates, okay? Aligning yourself with God. The physical gestures are just symbols. They can be used to help focus the mind, and I really think that's what that is. You know, because God is the magic, right? God is the creator, and when you align with God, you tap into the source of all that, and then in turn, as a result, you become an extension of said magic, light. Okay, that's what I teach. What other attacks? I think that's pretty good. I don't want to give too much away. You got to read. I said it in a video earlier. There is a balance, right? And so yeah, it's gonna take. You have to up your logical knowledge game, while at the same time elevating, your spiritual and emotional awareness. Okay. Good luck out there. God bless you.